Okay, so by now you're probably aware of the fact that we live in a world where MrBeast gets canceled for doing good deeds. Even though I didn't make a video on it, I'm sure you guys saw this stupid controversy where he got canceled for curing the blind.
You watch this video, you go, oh, how cute and how nice. I watched the video and I'm filled with rage.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution, Hassan. Very thoughtful, very insightful. So yeah, literally MrBeast gets canceled for curing the blind because he's an evil capitalist pig and he contributes to a system of oppression. I'm not memeing, these are almost verbatim quotes of people that were trying to cancel him a month ago. The people saying these things were then called out on their stupidity by a lot of the commentary community and actually some of Twitter. Twitter actually kind of came together and said, yeah, we're actually on Team Jimmy here. We like Jimmy Beast. We like MrBeast. We think curing the blind is a good thing. Unlike you guys, we don't have to view everything from a capitalist, communist, socialist perspective. When we see somebody curing other people's blindness, we just agree that that's a good thing. And then everybody kind of moved on. And today, the same thing that happened for the MrBeast curing the blind situation seems to be happening again, because MrBeast recently dropped this new video called Giving 20,000 Shoes to Kids in Africa. And I'll just play the beginning of the video so you can see what it's like.
For hundreds of thousands of kids in South Africa, the only thing standing between them and an education is a simple pair of shoes. Let me explain. Because of the extreme poverty in rural towns, walking to school barefoot is the only option, which means they have to walk for miles over harsh terrain, broken glass, and contaminated water.
So yeah, it's not just a good deed, it's like straight up charity work at this point. But it's not even just charity work. You have to imagine that it's not just the fact that he's giving the shoes to the African children. He's raising awareness for this issue as a whole, and he's talking about an issue that not a lot of people probably knew about. Like, I honestly, and maybe I'll sound stupid, did not know that African children not having shoes affected their ability to get an education, and now I know. Having to walk barefoot to school every day, you know, a couple miles through contaminated water and whatever else he said, yeah, that's a problem. A problem that myself and many others now know about. So yeah, it's multilateral. It's not just, oh, he's doing a good deed. He's also doing a lot of other things by posting this video. But alas, every time MrBeast posts a new video, the challenge begins. The Twitter users try not to say something bad about MrBeast when we all know he did something good challenge, Impossible Edition. Spoiler alert, they always fail. So today we're going to be looking at people that are already mad at MrBeast for posting this video. But before we do, if you could leave a like on this video, let's shoot for 5,000 likes. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe because we're trying to hit 400k where I will be doing my face reveal. Anyways, let's get into it. So if we look on YouTube, obviously there's nothing but love for this video. 82,000 likes to only 500 dislikes. That's a pretty good ratio. The people that are mad about this video are not the ones that are just watching on YouTube. The normies aren't mad. I mean, I will say though, he did give those 20,000 shoes to African children, but he didn't even check if they were subscribed first. Like, what? I'm kidding. Okay, no, but seriously, obviously the people using YouTube, the normies, aren't going to care about him doing an objectively good deed because they're like that, they're normal. But if we go to Twitter, he's receiving backlash for two main reasons. Oh yeah, and also, I tweeted I give it 4 hours until someone gets mad. That tweet has been up for 3 hours and the tweets have begun. Also, in case anybody's wondering why I'm back on Twitter, I literally had to get back on in order to tag Team YouTube because I was having issues with monetization. And what can I say? I stuck around for the MrBeast drama. But yeah, here are the two reasons. Reason one is apparently he didn't do enough for these children. Him flying to Africa and giving 20,000 pairs of shoes to children who need it, that unfortunately didn't meet Twitter's "you're a good person" standard. And the second reason is that MrBeast is apparently a quote-unquote white savior. And then there are people that are mad for different reasons, but those were the main two. You have random tweets like this that don't even make any sense. I'm more worried about the collapsing political atmosphere in the USA over trans hate. Thank you. Congrats, but I have to go worry about being persecuted for being myself. What does that have to do with anything? Who asked? Did you just say that when anybody says anything? Hey there, Twitter user Fem. I had a great day at school. Oh, I'm sure you did. Well, I can't have great days at school because I'm worried about the collapsing political atmosphere in the USA. Hey, Twitter user Fem. I saved a small child from drowning in a lake today. Oh, I'm sure you feel real happy about that. Well, I'm more worried about the collapse Political atmosphere in the USA. Hey, Twitter user Fem, I disarmed an active shooter before he was able to cause a tragedy. Wow, bravo. Psych, do you even understand that I'm more worried about the political collapsation in the United States? Okay, stupid bit, I'm done. Let's take a look at these tweets saying that he didn't do enough for these kids. He could have done a bit more. Shoes aren't worth much. Okay, yeah, but 20,000 shoes are worth a lot. Did you know that? Did you know that 20,000 times the small amount equals a large amount? Also, you obviously didn't watch the video because if you'd watch it, you'd understand that it's not just about the shoes themselves. It's about enabling these kids to pursue an education. Like, MrBeast isn't flying to Africa to try to get these kids dripped up. But the question I always like to ask in response to these people is, okay, but when would it be enough? You're saying 20,000 shoes isn't enough? He could have done more? Okay, what should he have done? And it's not even a gotcha question because when you say, oh, he didn't do enough, you're kind of implying that there would be a point where he could do enough. So tell me, what is that point? Do you want him to adopt all 20,000 African children and raise them all as his own, like give them the last name Donaldson? Is he supposed to give all of them a job at the MrBeast crew? I mean, yeah, giving one of them Carl's job wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but at the end of the day, like, what do you really expect? What is he supposed to do? I'm sure if you were doing charity work and you had the opportunity to give away 20,000 shoes, you'd say, oh, that's a great opportunity, I'd love to do that. You wouldn't say, oh, we're only giving away 20,000? Wait, why? Then the Opera GX web browser replies with, what, should he have given them signed Air Jordan 1s? I mean, corporate Twitter accounts are usually pretty corny, but that was a pretty good reply, and it makes the point that I'm basically trying to make as well. This one got 47,000 likes. Let me know when y'all catch up and realize how weird this MF is. No, let me know when you get your life together and realize that charity work and philanthropy are objectively good things. Let me know when you realize that trying to hold this niche, oh, I'm so nuanced, unpopular opinion about MrBeast just to seem different and intellectual actually achieves nothing, and that you're actually the weird one in this dynamic. Do you guys know that phenomenon where people claim a certain celebrity is like average or they're not a huge fan, but the moment they see them in person, they're like, oh my god, can I get a picture? I'm your biggest fan. It's a pretty real phenomenon, and I've actually seen it happen in real life, and I'm bringing this up to say that I feel like 99% of the people that are saying, MrBeast gives me weird vibes, if they saw MrBeast in person, they would drop to their knees and beg for a picture. And I am so certain of this. I'd give this a 10 out of 10 on the certainty scale. Because deep down, you know that he's a good person, you know that he's a normal person, and you understand why he has so many fans and why so many people like him. You're just trying to be different. Can we please stop pretending this isn't weird? What world are these people living in? What planet are they living on? How on earth is this weird? Charity is not weird. Like, it just makes no sense to me. These Twitter users in one breath will say things like, oh my god, this MrBeast guy, we gotta stop, you know, he's charitable, but he's weird, you know? Can we stop pretending that giving to charity isn't weird? And then at the same time, they'll tweet things like, oh, normalize this, normalize that. You know, they try to normalize things that they deem as good, although the things they deem as good are actually bad. They'll say, oh, normalize being fat, normalize being 500 pounds. So I'm sitting here and I'm saying, like, no, I'm gonna stop pretending that that isn't weird, because it is weird. But when you come across philanthropy that will benefit tens of thousands of African children, you find that to be weird. Like, what's wrong with you? Is this some sort of like childhood trauma where you see things that are good as bad and things that are bad as good? There's local companies that are combating problems such as lack of shoes and access to menstrual products that are more sustainable and will actually put money back into the community than this white dude. First of all, I'm not sure what the point was of bringing up the fact that he's a white dude. Like, yeah, he's a white dude, okay, and? Do you just, like, not want to support him because he's white? Like, I mean, if that's not what you're saying, that's not what you're saying, but that's kind of how I read it. And also, like, yeah, there are other, you know, companies that are doing things to help the community, and there are other companies that are combating, you know, the issues that MrBeast tries to help with. Yeah, that's true. There are more charities than just MrBeast, we know. But, like, so what? It's not a competition. Like, MrBeast isn't trying to replace actual charities or like the people that you're mentioning. They're on the same team, you know, friendly fire, there's no need to come after MrBeast. If anything, you should thank him because now the companies that you're listing, you know, like the local product companies or whatever, they're gonna get more attention if this issue gets more attention, which it will because now people are talking about it because of MrBeast, you know, that lame white guy. MrBeast has now entered his white savior era. In case you didn't know, a white savior is defined as a white person who helps non-white people ostensibly for reasons viewed as self-serving, such as being admired. Example, the author cast herself in a role of the white savior who was single-handedly saving a poor black woman. The thing that doesn't make any sense is that MrBeast has done loads of charity work for all sorts of people, regardless of their skin color, regardless of their gender, sexual orientation, etc, etc. But when he goes to give shoes to kids in Africa, he's now seen as a white savior, which is a bad thing. Like, what? Like, is he not supposed to help these people now just because they're non-white? Like, that just seems even more racist. Whoa, Jimmy, you can't go and help these poor little African black kids who need shoes. You can't do that. I mean, Jimmy, you wouldn't want the internet to think you're a white savior, right? I mean, like, okay, let's think about this for a second. White savior literally means a white person helping a non-white person, but people only think you're helping the non-white person because you want to feel good about yourself. Well, this is obviously not true because MrBeast has done loads of charity work for years at this point for all sorts of people, regardless of their race and anything. He's not like going out of his way to find poor black people to just give them free stuff and record it on camera to seem like a good guy. He's finding real problems and then contributing to a solution for a lot of them. But I'll go as far to say, like, okay, MrBeast is not a white savior, obviously, but let's say that according to this definition, he was only helping these African children because he would feel good about himself for helping non-white people. So what? Like, the outcome is the same. Who cares? 20,000 kids now have new shoes and may be able to walk to school without fear of stepping on like a rock or something. White savior or not, the objectively good deed has been done. The charity work has been done, so I don't really care what his rationale for doing it was. But I do genuinely believe MrBeast is a good person, you know? I know people who are friends with MrBeast. Like, I have friends who are friends with MrBeast, and that's not even like a flex, like, oh, you know, I'm locked in, I have connections. Like, obviously not. I've never spoken to MrBeast, and I probably never will. But I'm just saying, like, I have YouTuber friends who are big enough to the point where they know him, and he's a good guy. I don't know what to say. MrBeast, I will personally fund your weird white savior goal if you do one charitable thing in silence. Just one. Well, do you even know if he's done charitable things in silence? Because obviously they would have been in silence. Like, you're so dumb. I would guess he's done many charitable things in silence that he hasn't posted about. I would say that there's probably a lot of things that we don't even know or we don't see. I mean, he's worked on videos where he does charity work and then has had to scrap those videos because he doesn't like how they come out. He's gained absolutely no attention for those scrapped videos that have been seen by nobody, so yeah, he's done plenty of charity work in silence. Like, how dumb do you have to be to have made that point? Like, oh, he does nothing in silence. Like, dude, you wouldn't know if he's done anything in silence because that's the entire point. Anyways, though, I found this entire drama to be pretty stupid, as have all the MrBeast dramas been. But if you guys end up enjoying this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Comment down potato if you made it to the end of the video. Follow my social medias, links are all down below, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.